Imagine you were Justin Trudeau, once hailed as the future of progressive politics in Canada. You find yourself alone in a dimly lit office, overwhelmed by the deafening silence that accompanies your recent political setbacks. The walls adorned with accolades now seem to mock you as key advisors resign one by one. Once riding high with a 63% approval rating, you now face a paltry 30%, a reflection of a disillusioned electorate. How did the champion of change find himself on the verge of political collapse? As you grapple with the reality of your crumbling legacy, you must ask yourself, where did things go wrong? Don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Junky for more gripping stories from the world of politics and beyond. Justin Trudeau, the charismatic son of Pierre Trudeau, captured the hearts of Canadians and the global community alike with his promises of an inclusive, progressive Canada. His early tenure was marked by sweeping reforms aimed at enhancing environmental protections, advocating for gender equality, and championing social justice. His leadership style, coupled with his youthful vigor and the legacy of his father, propelled him to a stunning approval rating of 63%. This promising start set high expectations. But could any leader truly live up to such a soaring ideal? Despite his auspicious start, Trudeau's administration soon found itself mired in controversy. The SNC-Lavalin scandal marked a significant turning point, casting a long shadow over his government's integrity. Accusations of Trudeau's interference to protect a corporate giant from criminal prosecution ignited public outrage and painted a picture of a government not for the many, but for the privileged few. Did Trudeau sacrifice ethical governance to save jobs? Or was this an unavoidable step in a complex geopolitical landscape? On the international front, Trudeau's relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump was fraught with challenges. Their interactions ranged from frosty to downright contentious, with issues like trade tariffs and NAFTA negotiations straining Canada-U.S. relations. Each awkward handshake and each tariff imposed tested Trudeau's diplomatic skills. Was his strategy with Trump a display of steadfastness in protecting Canadian interests, or a series of missteps that led to increased economic vulnerability? Back home, Trudeau's hallmark environmental policy, the carbon tax, became a flashpoint of controversy. While intended to position Canada as a leader in climate action, it instead alienated segments of the population and industry who felt it was an economic burden too heavy to bear. Meanwhile, the resignation of several key cabinet members signaled possible internal discord. Could these resignations be seen as a lack of faith in Trudeau's leadership? Or were they a normal part of political life amplified by a critical media? From an impressive 63% to a concerning 30%, the plummet in Trudeau's approval rating speaks volumes about the changing public sentiment. This dramatic shift prompts us to ask, what exactly has changed? Is this a simple case of political fatigue, or are there deeper issues at play here? How has Trudeau's initial promise appeared to falter so significantly in the eyes of the Canadian public? Amidst this political storm, various theories circulate about Trudeau's dramatic rise and fall. Some suggest that his initial popularity was as much a product of his celebrity-like appeal as his political acumen, a double-edged sword that set expectations unattainably high. Others feel he has become a scapegoat for broader societal and global issues beyond his control. What do you think? Is Trudeau a victim of his own hype, or is he a capable leader struggling against insurmountable odds? As we close this chapter on Justin Trudeau's turbulent journey, the question remains, what is the future for this once celebrated leader? Will he find a way to reconnect with Canadians and revive his floundering approval ratings? Or is it time for new leadership to step forward? How will Trudeau's legacy be remembered? As a fleeting moment of hope or a cautionary tale of unfulfilled promises? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this exploration into Justin Trudeau's career compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more from Mystery Junky. As we reach the end of our exploration into Justin Trudeau's contentious tenure as Prime Minister of Canada, It's crucial to reflect on the profound transformation the country has undergone under his leadership. When Trudeau first stepped into office, Canada was buoyed by a wave of optimism. The nation stood as a beacon of progressivism, promising to champion social justice, environmental responsibility, and economic innovation on the global stage. However, the landscape now appears starkly different, with public outrage and disappointment overshadowing earlier achievements. How did Canada's shining moment under Trudeau dim so drastically? At the outset, Trudeau's administration embodied hope and change, a sharp contrast to the political cynicism that often clouds governmental leadership. Canadians and the world alike watched as Trudeau committed to bold initiatives like gender-balanced cabinet appointments and ambitious climate targets. The country was not just on the right track, it was setting the pace for others to follow. But beneath this glossy exterior, issues were simmering, slowly building the pressure that would later erupt into public dissent. The transformation from a celebrated leader to one mired in controversy prompts us to ask, what are the unmentioned factors that contributed to this shift? Several bold theories have emerged. One suggests that Trudeau's progressive policies, while popular in theory, were often perceived as overreaches in practice, alienating portions of the electorate who felt left behind by rapid social changes. Another theory posits that Trudeau's focus on international acclaim detracted from addressing domestic issues, leading to a sense of neglect among his constituents. The public outrage that has become more vocal over time is not just about specific scandals or policy disagreements. It is a broader lament over the perceived decline of a nation that once held so much promise. Economic strains, exacerbated by global events and internal policy decisions, have left many Canadians questioning the cost of Trudeau's vision for a progressive Canada. The disillusionment is palpable, with increasing numbers of Canadians feeling that their concerns are unheard, their livelihoods unconsidered. Critics argue that the Canada of today under Trudeau's leadership is a shadow of its former self at the beginning of his tenure. They point to increased national debt, strained relations with key international allies, and divisive politics as indicators of a country now navigating rough waters without a clear course. This raises another poignant question. Is it fair to place the burden of these complex global and national challenges solely on Trudeau's shoulders? Or is he merely a scapegoat for deeper systemic issues that no single leader could resolve? Furthermore, the decline in Trudeau's approval rating from a robust 63% to a dismal 30% reflects not just a loss of confidence in his leadership, but also signals a deeper societal malaise. Are these figures a direct result of his policies? Or do they reflect a global trend of disillusionment with establishment figures and institutions? This dip in approval could be seen as part of a larger pattern of political disenchantment that extends beyond Canadian borders. As we consider these perspectives, it's essential to engage in a broader dialogue about the expectations we place on our political leaders. Are we expecting miracles from mere mortals? And how do we balance the desire for progressive policies with the practicalities of economic management and social cohesion? In closing, the story of Justin Trudeau's rise and struggles encapsulates the volatile nature of high-stakes politics in the modern era. It is a tale of a leader who aimed to soar, but found himself navigating through storms. Whether Trudeau can recalibrate his leadership approach to once again align with the aspirations of Canadians remains to be seen. As observers and participants in this ongoing story, we must continue to question, critique, and demand accountability, ensuring that the future of Canada reflects the true will and needs of its people. As always, we invite your thoughts and opinions on this complex issue. Do you believe Trudeau can turn around his legacy? Or is it time for a new direction? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're seeking more insightful discussions, don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Junky.